Wow. I'm very thankful to see so many of you here today. This is great, coming out on this winter wonderland. And I call it that because you get out in it and you say, wonder what I'm doing out in this snow driving around. But we all know why we're here. And for each and every one of us, it might be something unique and special. But then again, it's all the same, too. We're here to celebrate the joy of the Spirit together and sharing in so many different ways. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Bob, for being here as our guest speaker today.
If you close your eyes and just come away with me in a little meditative trip. We think of today, as a period in time, as a postage stamp on the letter of time. But today is forever. We are in a constant flowing through time and space. And in that time and space, we are filled and surrounded and protected by grace, by the breath and the intention of God, of great spirit that moves in all things. And those things be they trees or snowflakes or the wind that touches our cheek, those things are all Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, the Creator. And as you move along through this period of time and space, and you find yourself walking by the trees or feeling the snowflake on your cheek, or seeing a child's laughter or a child's tear, or the beautiful hair of someone that's hanging down their back. When you see those things, those aren't things. They are grace. They are the living being of God, the body of God that surrounds and fills and protects us. And here today in this room, we feel the people around us, and they are also God. And this room is bathed in light. And the light you breathe in is pure white light. And it fills and protects and surrounds you. And it gives you health and it gives you peace. And it transforms while it's in you. Because it picks up the unique individuality of who you are. And when you breathe it back out, you breathe a prism, a rainbow of incredible colors that no one else ever in the history of the world has been able to replicate. It's your grace, it's your blessing to the world. And it goes out and touches all the people around you as theirs is touching you. And you are whole, and you are perfect, and you are complete as you move along this river of time and space that is not today, but is forever, here and now. Good grief, y'all came out. Holy smokes. This is amazing. I mean, I figured there'd be about 6 or 8 of us here and we'd just have some donuts and coffee and shoot the breeze. So I didn't prepare anything. So actually, you might know that I write a blog, a regular message. And if you're not getting that blog, then you can go to traskblog.blogspot.com. I can get that to you later. But if you would like to get that message, it comes out every week or so, then just make sure I get your email before you leave. Just give it to Kelly and I'll get it and I'll put you on the list. So I wrote this blog and I thought to myself, this is kind of a fun blog and I might just read it. And I grew up in a Catholic church, so I'm used to people reading. Y'all don't have to stand. So this is the epistle from Bob. To the Bellinghamites. Bellinghamsters, okay. When I read this over, I thought there's some kind of interesting messages in here. So I think we'll just play with this a little bit. A friend's boat, and some of you know this guy incidentally, a friend's boat sank under him suddenly. He found himself a mile from shore in heavy seas without a life jacket. And for some time he struggled to stay afloat, dog paddling and trying to float on his back. And eventually the cold sapped his energy and he knew he was probably going to die. Now, here it comes. Then, just as all seemed lost, he reached an epiphany, a transformation of thought that changed his life. He realized in a flash that for years he had been surviving his divorce, surviving his troubled business, and surviving his loneliness. Surviving his divorce, surviving his troubled business, surviving his loneliness, surviving his aging, surviving the pain in his hips and his joints as he got older, surviving the fears of what's the future hold for me, surviving the feeling of insecurity when he'd get up in the morning and face the day, not sure that he could handle the challenges therein. Sound like anyone we know? He realized in a flash that for years he had been surviving his divorce, surviving his troubled business, and surviving his loneliness, and he was still now surviving. Floating along on the top of the water, surviving. With new clarity, he saw that he had been living with his power turned off. Hunkered down in the corner of his life, hoping things would change. It was then that he realized the stark difference between surviving and thriving. It was then that he realized that life is meant to be challenged. You can't just get up in the morning and say, I'll get through the day and then I'll get back in this bed again. Because you've only got so many of those get back in the bed agains, and then that's it. They find you there. So it's like, what am I going to do today that I didn't do yesterday? What am I going to do today to make today better than yesterday? What we do is we accumulate stuff in our lives. We accumulate baggage. Some of it's good baggage, some of it's bad baggage, but it's still all baggage. It's still all stuff from the past. It's not today, it's not now, it's not where we can create from now. It's stuff that was all then before. Over here, this guy said this, and I remember that, and this person said this, and I got married, then I got divorced, and my kids turned against me when they were 13 years old, and I got hemorrhoids, and all of that stuff. And we keep it all in a bag called our memories, and we identify with it because it gets real, even the bad stuff gets real precious because it's who we are. And I'll show you how that works. If I said to you, I'm going to give you a moment to just tell me the worst thing that ever happened to you. Anyone need more time? No, because it's right there in the bag. And so we have all of that stuff in the bag, and we think that's who we are. We identify with it. Well, it's okay. It's all right to identify with it. But what if we had a new bag? What if we started a new bag? Instead of going into today like Santa Claus, dragging this bag with me. So what's 2011 going to be? Just a minute and I'll show you. Isn't it true? So I'd say, then let's leave that bag back in 2010 to the degree that we can. And sometimes it just isn't that easy because we do drag it along with us. But let's at least be conscious of the fact that today is a new day. Today is the day that we can create a reality, not just survive, but create. Let's find out what this guy's doing. He might drown. I don't know. This is the epistle of Bob to the Bellinghamsters. He could fight to stay afloat until he was either rescued or sank beneath the waves. Or he could start swimming toward the distant shore. Or you could start swimming toward the distant shore. In either situation, he might die, but in swimming, he had a purpose. Here we go. A positive one that would energize him with divine energy. So if you're going through your day and you say, I don't know why I feel so tired all the time. I just feel tired. A positive one that would energize him with divine energy that comes only to those who have claimed a goal and who have determined to reach it. With grace flowing into him, his life would take on a positive meaning. Those of us who find ourselves in trouble because we've lost our job, our money's run out, we're in severe pain, our health's failing, our relationships are on the rocks, and we're frightened and alone, we're no different than my friend struggling to save his life. We can choose to hang on to the surface of the water and pray and hope, or we can put those prayers and wishes into action and take the necessary steps to create a new paradigm and get committed to it.